In some parts of the coast, they're really into war, battling.
There's still no insulation or heating in any of the houses.
He's really getting heavy or hard with the crime, step by step, very well.
It's a culture that values family, certainly, and relationships and safety and community.
The current government decided to get the military involved because they're very clean.
They're very sort of image conscious, like they care about their reputation and their last name and their city.
You can really learn from how to have good character, discipline, how to purchase an objective and accomplish it. It's a small city here in Ecuador that gathers a full combination of culture, arts, music. It really has good gastronomy as well due to the COVID pandemic. They delayed our grades and everything.
What do most people do there for a living? Is it an agricultural town?
For a living, yeah, mostly agriculture and mainly corn. Then here you find all kind of safety. It's well known for good food because they have a mixture in between the coastal sazon and the Orient, South Orient sazon, not highland sazon.
The cuisine on the coast is much better, in my opinion, than La Sierra.
My family had to emigrate to Spain due to the economic collapse. Something inside told me that I need more nature in my environment.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Jesse Bayer here. Thanks for tuning in. This is another episode in our Professional Spotlight Ecuador series. Pleased today to be joined by Pedro Guaicha. Full disclosure, Pedro works for us, works with us, I should say, here at Abundant Living. I've known Pedro probably since 2014, probably. I was here in 13, probably 2014, most likely we met. You were in college at the time, at university, and then you've worked with us for a number of years. So Pedro has a pretty interesting story. He comes from Pindal, which is a town in the province of Loja, but quite a ways away from here. He spent some time in Spain, has lived, of course, in Loja, went to school in Loja. So we're going to get into Pedro's life story, tell his story a little bit here today. So if you enjoy this content, take a moment right now, hit the like button, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let's get right into it. So Pedro, appreciate you taking the time today. Let's start a little bit with your early story. So you were born in Pindal, is that correct?
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate you, Jesse, and your family. It's an honor for me to be here. And yeah, I was born in Pindal town, almost bordering Peru, 2 hours away from the Peruvian border. And then my family had to emigrate to Spain due to the economic collapse we've been through in the 1999. So we traveled to Spain. I lived there in Spain for 10 years and grew up there.
Oh, okay. So what year were you born?
In 1995.
Oh, so you were only in Pindal 4 years before Spain.
4 years before Spain.
And then 10 years in Spain.
Yes.
Oh, so you really did grow up in Spain. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you came back to Ecuador at 14?
No, we traveled when I was 6 years old, and I came back when I was almost 17 years old.
Okay.
16 years old.
So you pretty much did high school, through high school?
Elementary school, yeah, high school and everything.
Okay, and then, so when you came back, did you live in Pindal or did you live in Loja?
I directly went to Quito City to school at the St. Dominic School, Catholic school, and I was trying to study the city, to think if I can stay there and live there and do a living there. But something inside told me that I need more nature in my environment. So I decided to go with my cousins, my family, to Pindal, because there in my hometown, the family normally goes to the river all the time and spend time together. So I was craving for something like that, more fulfilling. And I ended up studying college in Loja, and after that. Thankfully, I'm living here in Vilcabamba right now and working with you It's great.
What describe for the audience a little bit, what's Pindal like? Like what kind of town is it? What do people do there? What's the vibe?
Pindal is a quiet town similar to Vilcabamba with almost the same weather year round. We have plenty of rivers surrounding the town, waterfalls as well, a lot of hiking, a lot of even lo que bajan with the harness. They go down
sure.
across the waterfall.
Yeah, what do they call
that?
I'm forgetting the name, but
yeah. That type of activities with the bikes. They go with the kids to Zapotillo to try some coconut water from Zapotillo, or to the surrounding towns as well. It's beautiful all around Pindal.
And what do most people do there for a living? Is it an agricultural town? Or
for a living, yeah, mostly agriculture and mainly corn.
Yeah.
Corn production.
Yeah, I know it's one of the places that a lot of the corn comes from, that region.
Yes, and sadly they still depend on the weather to have a good production of corn. They don't have much support from the government from many years ago. It's been all the time like this, but this year they had a good year. All the corn was looking very good without any plague, as we call it in Spanish.
Plagues, yeah.
Yeah, plagues. Mm-hmm.
And so, is it a peaceful area? Is it a dangerous area? What's that like?
It's a peaceful area. The worst thing you can find in Pindal is maybe a fight in between drunk guys in the night, 11, 12. Nothing serious.
Yeah, no robberies, no crime,
robberies,
like
it's all families together there in Pindal. You know the South Orient region, how it is, this province, similar towns.
Yeah, I know, they don't know, so that's why I'm asking. But, okay, is there any foreigners at all in that region?
Well, I know a foreigner, she's from a country of the Middle Europe, maybe from Russia or from Ukraine. Or Czech Republic, I think it is, yeah. Her home country, living in Pindal. She got married with a local, with a Pindaleño, a friend of our family. Yeah, maybe you can find a few foreigners around.
And is your family still there?
Yes, they're still there.
So when you were in Spain, where were you?
In Barcelona city.
In the city.
10 minutes from Barcelona.
And that's because your parents were working there?
Yeah, they were working, and I took the chance to happily cultivate their culture and learn a lot of things, study a lot. I was a lab rat all the time, reading and learning, very curious about the new languages. So that is why I'm really enjoying this, my job now, because I'm able to learn new languages and meet these beautiful new cultures all the way coming down here to Vilcabamba. For me, it's very surprising from a local point of view. And I really love to meet new cultures and learn new languages. So in Barcelona, I really enjoyed the Catalan. I learned Catalan language. I even won the Juegos Florales that the kids in the school compete for. Grammar, oratory, all of that. Yeah. So I learned a lot of things in Barcelona.
I'm
very thankful.
What are some of the big differences between Spain and Ecuador? Like life there, or the people, or however you want to take it.
The culture is kind of similar, especially bordering the coast of Spain, and even if you reach las Islas Baleares or Islas Canarias, the culture is even more similar to our culture. And in Barcelona, the difference in between, you can find more people if they decide to build something in any part of the town or the city, they built it. So it's a different culture based on what they have as a priority. Here in Ecuador, I like that we cannot, as our main priority, we have the nature surrounding us, the national parks and everything. That's what I really liked from here, and that's a big difference, because here you find people not against the nature at all. A lot of people like that, but in Spain they don't care that much. You find big cities and unorganized cities and parts of the cities as well. From my point of view, way more dangerous spots and corners in Barcelona city, Chinatown and more than here. You find all kind of safety.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that would be a difference.
How old were you when you got back from Quito to Loja? Or I'm sorry, so you got back from Quito to Pindal. How old were you then when you left Pindal for Loja to go to college?
I was 19 years old.
Okay. So
I arrived to Loja.
were you back in Pindal for only like a year or something maybe?
Yes, for a year and a half to 2 years,
Okay.
almost.
Okay.
Year and a half.
Were
yeah.
you working at that time or just helping out your family or what were you doing?
We were doing, working with our cousin Diana. She has a store. I was helping her to sell the electrodomestics, all kinds of little works,
Appliances.
earrings for the, yeah.
Okay.
I worked in a hardware store as well in Pindal. This type of things.
Okay. And so then you decided to move to Loja. Did you go to la Universidad Nacional or la Técnica or where did you go?
To la Universidad Nacional. My mom already paid the test for the technical university, but I compared both. And from what I was wanting to study, I decided for the National University because I was going to save more money and I saw the same level for the business administration career. So my mom was a little bit mad with me in the phone because she wanted me to keep going for the private school, but I told her no need for that because National University is good enough for my objectives.
So you were studying business administration?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any family in Loja?
In Loja, I have a few members of my family there. Aunties, uncles.
Did you stay
cousins.
with them or did you need to rent out a place? Or?
At first we stayed together, then I moved alone in my tiny apartment. And after that I got married with Olga and I met my current wife, Olga. We had my daughter Ivana, so we decided to live together closer to my university to save money on the transportation so I could study and live closer to the university, yeah.
Did you guys meet in college or somewhere else?
In Loja City. She was pursuing a career in architecture already in the leveling up course. So I met her there in the technical university. I was always going back and forth in between both universities because I had cousins. One of my cousins living with me was studying in the technical university, so I was spending time there with them as well. And I met Olga. We started to hang around more together, and from the first time I knew that I was going to stay with her somehow because I really liked his genuine personality until this day.
Where is she from?
From Macara town, a neighboring town from Pindal, Pindal.
Did you know her when you were younger? No.
No, when I was younger, no.
You were in Spain during that time anyway, but yeah. Okay. So those are warmer, drier climates, those areas. Macara, Pindal, Zapotillo. Beautiful. Drier, warmer, great for agriculture. Really good people. I like the people there a lot. Different food too. There's like in Zapotillo, there's amazing goat. I don't know, what is Pindal known for food?
Pindal is well known for good food because they have a mixture in between the coastal sazon and the Orient, South Orient sazon, not highland sazon. It's a different style of cooking, more similar to the coast, so it's pretty good, the food there. Yeah. But in Zapotillo, you find specific plates as the chivo al hueco, the goat cooked under the soil. Yes,
it's so good.
Yes, it's very, very delicious, and with the beer.
I'll probably make some serranos angry at me now, but the coast cooking, the cuisine on the coast is much better, in my opinion, than La Sierra.
Well, I always argue with that because I really like the highland cooking.
Yeah, see, I already got someone upset. Okay, cool. So then you studied, how many years were you in college?
5 years and a half, almost 6 years, because they have to first level up us, La Nivelación, where I got to meet you. You were going back and forth for Aide, and I saw you, and I was, so 6 months there and 5 years in college in Loja City.
So I met Pedro through my wife, who was not my wife at the time. We were just friends and starting to hang out together. And Pedro was a friend of hers from school, and so that's how we met.
Yeah, and mostly we wanted to learn English, so the professor create these groups, and we decided to do the thesis in Vilcabamba, the pre-thesis in Vilcabamba, so we can learn more English. And in the group, we end up with Aide, Pato, a girl from Zamora. So we started coming here back and forth. I met you, and I was very curious because even once I was coming back to my house, to home, and across the 24 de Mayo street, I stand up in the bus, and I saw you with the headphones and like with the suit, and I liked that, and I was really interested on that in my mind. So I was very glad to see you around more often in Vilcabamba, in everywhere. Yes.
Okay, so then what year did you, well, were you working through college, or were you just studying?
Yeah, well, working in the things I could. I worked in Nachos del Güero as a mesero.
Waiter.
Waiter, yeah. I worked really hard there in Nachos del Güero as a waiter, and this type of works, from what I remember, little works as this, yes.
Okay, and so then
close to the university always.
And what year did you graduate?
In 2022, because we delayed a little bit due to the COVID pandemic. Yeah. They delayed our grades, and everything got a little bit delayed.
And was your daughter born yet then, or?
Yes, she was already there 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
2019 she was?
When she got born? In 2018.
18, okay.
Yes.
So you finished school with working plus being a father. So yes. I know that well. I did that very similar thing. Okay. And then so talk a little bit about, what is Loja like? Like what were your experiences like in Loja? What do you think of the city in general?
Loja is a small city here in Ecuador that gathers a full combination of culture, arts, music. It really has good gastronomy as well. You can find good food in the restaurants in Loja, and plenty of entertainment, at least for the ones that, like us, that really like to go with the dog and across the trails, run with the family to the parks, to all kinds of natural places, and as well small malls, not too big, not too crowded of people. But you really enjoy spending the time in Loja because it's still a tranquil city. Due to the surrounding ending mountains, it cannot grow anymore. So it's still remaining as a good, quiet city. Even though you'll find a lot more cars comparing it to 2013 for sure, but it's still very good. I really like to spend time in Loja.
Yeah.
I go as much as I can.
Yeah, it's an interesting, Lojanos have it's really an interesting culture. I think it's a little bit different even than the other, the other mountain cities like Cuenca and Quito. Lojanos tend to be, very formal, very polite. They're very sort of image conscious, like they care about their reputation and their last name and their city.
Yes.
They take a lot of pride in who they are and where they live. It's very safe. It's a culture that values family certainly, and relationships and safety and community. It's really, I really like Lojanos. Like in general, they're good people. They can be trusted for the most part. And for a city that's over 200,000 people, it still operates at a pretty slow pace. People still, kind of take lunch breaks and go home to be with the family a lot and spend. It's really kind of a throwback. I don't know if there's a lot of places like in the U.S. that are left with sort of an intact culture that way. A lot of the people from Loja have lived there for many, many generations, so you kind of have those social ties that a lot of cities don't have. Okay, and so then, what made you want to get into real estate and working with us?
In real estate, well, before that, let me put some words on the cultural difference here in Loja. We have this type of culture that every task involves to spend time with someone, even if it's a coffee or something. We gather or have a meeting and spend the time to look at our faces and talk one-on-one, because we don't have millions of trillions of people in every corner, so we still have community and family, and that's the best part of all of this from my point of view, because we still protected of the new emerging unsafety type of things in the world. And that is why I decided to stay here in Vilcabamba, and I found this great opportunity to work in real estate as well, because I'm good for, I really like to communicate with people, learn from new people, learning all the time. I'm learning right now a lot. So it's the perfect job to learn, consistent learning, improve yourself, your lifestyle, and communicate with people, and at the same time, in my case, to learn English. Yes. Mm-hmm. And my daughter, my wife are very happy here, spending the time here in Vilcabamba. My daughter is already learning English, so I couldn't ask for more. Yes.
So what, because you worked for us for quite a while when you were living in Loja, what made you decide to move to Vilcabamba?
Mostly, we met Jim. Jim Park is my best friend, currently best friend. And we start to hang around with each other. He invited me to his birthday. We spend the time together, and we really connect. We become friends, very good friends. As I said, he's my best friend now, and I'm learning a lot from him. I'm really thankful. And he got the idea, Pedro, you're working more in Vilcabamba than in Loja. Let's move to Loja, because my main goal is to live there in Vilcabamba and have the best weather possible. So we are cooperating with each other. I'm working as his personal assistant as well, and he's helping me a lot. Even in many new projects, he's thinking in, because one of our main goals here for Vilcabamba is to bring more people from Asia, not just from Canada or from Europe. He's a Korean. Jim Park is Korean, from South Korea, and he's enjoying this every bit of Vilcabamba and Loja province, because he already went to Macará, to Pindal town as well. So he has this idea to encourage as well Asian people, good families as well as the Canadian and American families, to come down here and learn from this place. They can stay, they can like it. So we're in this many projects with him as well, and I'm very glad that I'm growing here, really growing up. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And was Olga, was your wife, you know, did she like the idea of moving to Vilcabamba, or did you have to convince her, or how is that?
She really liked it, because she cannot stand the cold weather, and we lived right in the corner next to the river in the south part of Loja, next to the mountains, and the foggy dew was coming down every morning in the cold. And she was always looking even to travel or move to a different country, maybe Spain. She was mentioning Las Islas Baleares or Barcelona, to get a hotter weather, warmer weather. So she's loving it in here. It's warm for her. She likes the weather, everything here. And my daughter, the same as well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys in Macará and Pindal, those are hot climates.
Exactly, yeah.
And Vilcabamba is sort of a temperate, warm climate. And then Loja for Ecuador is a cool climate, where, you know, a lot of times your daytime highs are in the 60s and 70s. It gets cold at night sometimes, and you can have, you know, cool stretches of cool weather. But because it's not really cold, there's still no insulation or heating in any of the houses. So you know, when it's 55, 60, 65 degrees, you're in that, you know, you can't get away from it. But for a lot of people, it's also a great climate. Okay.
And special thing here, you get the breeze as well. In Pindal, you don't get much breeze. In Macará, it's hot.
Yeah.
Not much breeze as here. Maybe it's like being in the river or swimming all the time in the weather. It's beautiful.
No, the weather here is perfect. It's amazing. I mean, this is like not a nice day today, and it's probably, you know, 72, and the sun will come out later, and I've already swam in the river today, and like it's a great climate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what have some of your experiences been like in Vilcabamba working in real estate, working both with locals and foreigners, but you know, some of your experiences with foreigners. Anything interesting to share?
Yeah, a lot of interesting things. Every country, every foreigner has its own pattern to do the things, and you have to respect that. You have to adapt to that because they're coming to a new world here. You have to understand them. They don't know anything about this country, and they're looking for guidelines, and you learn more practical things to do the things. Their time managing is beautiful in the U.S., for example. Here in Ecuador is different. But lots of interesting people coming all the time. Yes.
When did you get into MMA?
Oh, into MMA. Well, I've been training MMA from 5 years ago. It's a lovely sport from my point of view because you can drain all that energy you have in yourself inside. And you can really learn from how to have good character, discipline, how to purchase an objective and accomplish it. It's a beautiful sport. I encourage more people to do it. Even I've been doing it here in Vilcabamba to encourage more people to practice or try MMA. Here in Vilcabamba, I want to send a shout out to Josh. He has a beautiful dojo here in Vilcabamba, beautiful people and environment to train. You can really learn. He's very technical, Josh. In Hacienda San Joaquin, yes. Yeah, I've been training there as well.
So who trains? Arthur trains there, I think. Who else trains there?
Travis.
Oh, Travis too?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Josh, Cord, there's another guy, Cord, Steven.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mira's son is training there.
Arthur,
he's very good, yes.
Yeah. Those are all good guys. Very cool. All right. Yes. Do you have any sort of tips or advice you would give to foreigners who are thinking about Vilcabamba or Ecuador in general?
Yeah, to just explore a little bit more. Now there's good channels, good YouTube channels that can give you a better idea of what Ecuador actually is. Especially the Andean region, Southern region is just a beautiful, for me, a paradise on earth. And you can learn a lot from this country in matters of be comfortable with the nature and do your things with no rush. Like in big cities, try to make people think that they really need to be very busy and rushing and all the things. So I would do a lot more research for you to have a clear idea about Ecuador, and just contact somebody that can really help and care about your process, because that's very important to have a good network of contacts, of trustful, honest contacts here, as in any country. And from that, decide to schedule the visit to Ecuador and without any fear, visit the country and explore around as many towns as possible, especially in the regions I just recommended. And after that, you could decide if this is a place that you would like to stay for a longer period of time, and then we can help anytime on anything they could need. The people thinking to come to Ecuador.
And Pedro also does some rentals. So Pedro does have some rental options available for folks if they're looking to stay in Vilcabamba and surrounding region for a while. Feel free to reach out and we can put you in touch with Pedro. Okay, anything that I didn't touch on that you'd like to mention?
Just that if you research more about Ecuador, maybe during these days you'll get some inconsistent news for us. But here in Ecuador, we are in the process to actually structure laws and to clean up every department possible, especially the police, the military. So the current government decided to get the military involved because they're very clean nowadays, so they can really put the hard hand on the crime. So this is just a transition of times we're having here in Ecuador. The country is going to do very good, and we have the best hope possible for Ecuador. Has great potential for everything.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you about that. So obviously, as someone who's from here, do you feel pretty good about the way that's going? Is that accurate, or how do you feel about what's taking place?
I've been always of the idea to not give too much power to the already currently in power party, and I've always been of the idea of giving the opportunity to new heads to do the things that they're really proposing to do in the country. Why not to look for different alternatives to young blood, as you can say it. So I'm not from a specific party, but I can say that this President Noboa has a really neutral stand-up view, and he's really doing step by step. As from what I'm seeing, he's really getting heavy or hard with the crime, step by step. Very well prepared guy. He's a very well prepared guy, and he really knows what he's doing now for Ecuador.
Was it Pedro? Was it you that had like a cousin or a family member who was involved in some of these operations? Was that you sharing that, or am I mixing that up?
Our cousin Fernando Cherres just graduated from the Navy. Cheers, greetings to him. And he directly went to Alferez de Fragata is the proper name for that position. And they directly send the Alferez de Fragatas to fight or battle, because right now in some spots of in some parts of the coast, they're really into war, battling, but in small parts, specific parts on the hills. So they're really fighting back the crime. And he's sending me inbox, DM, pictures of the criminals they're catching up, and many things they're collecting from these organizations. So they're really, and he's telling me in the audios that we're really tired and giving it all for our people. His mom is always concerned about him, calling him crying all the time. He's the Ecuadorian mom. So, but these guys are doing their job. I'm very glad and grateful for them. The Navy, the Army, the military. Yes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I think the whole country is behind those efforts.
Yes.
So thank you to Fernando as well, your cousin, and all the folks, you know, in the military and the police who are spearheading these efforts on the coast and other places to, you know, get rid of organized crime in Ecuador. So, all right, Pedro, I really appreciate you taking the time. Everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
If again, if you enjoy this content, please put a like on the video. Hit the bell, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel right here. Check out our real estate channel right here for content that you will absolutely love. Click right here. And if you want to know how we got here, click here.